So let's refer to the skeletal model just to help give a better understanding in terms of mid-tarsal joint movement and to really look at what we're seeing clinically. Mid-tarsal joint itself is made of a number of joints through that midfoot. We've got the navicular, the cuneiforms, and the cuboid that sits laterally. Individually, they've got small ranges available to them in terms of what we call dorsal and plantar excursion and rotation, but collectively they deliver an awful lot more movement. So we have this oblique axis historically, which we used to look at up and down movement, and also sort of long axis rotation. It's important that with each patient that you see that you at least get an idea in terms of its range and its quality of movement, because that will help make decisions in regard to some of the orthotic variables, particularly when we look at midfoot control features, just to ensure that that foot can tolerate some positional change. The mid-tarsal joint is described as a functional joint made up of the talonavicular joint on the medial side and the calcaneocuboid joint on the lateral side. Research has shown that the mid-tarsal joint really has a constantly moving axis of motion, and that this motion is driven by the external forces acting across the joint, as you can see here, and the internal forces acting from within the joint units. And these internal forces include muscle activity via their tendon attachments into the involved bones, but also the surrounding ligaments and joint surfaces that help stabilise the functional unit. And as you can see, that motion of the mid-tarsal joint historically has been modelled as a biaxial joint, and that's really for ease of understanding due to the complexity of the architecture and intimate joint relationships. However, the mid-tarsal joint movement is predominantly a polyaxial joint with movement available within all planes.